this is where my father transitioned. I've never been to Grenada. That was my first time. And it was really special to leave with those kids. It was really special to leave a piece of Freshmen. Freshmen was my brother's brand. My brother transitioned in 2016, and I've carried it over. But now going to Grenada and then having to go deal with another transition into life, it was just magical. It's a magical feeling inside. It's when I see those kids happy and joyful and laughing and dancing especially and dancing, it's like that hug that you want to receive from the one that you've lost.
So welcome back to another episode of In We Blood. Today I'm here with Khadejah, community activist. Khadejah and I actually met through Courtney Allen. Shout out to Courtney Allen, who sent me an Instagram post saying it was something like community work in Grenada. And I was like, what is this? Like, who is this person from Toronto talking about they're doing work in Grenada? And like, fine, whatever, let me reshare it. And then we ended up connecting from there. Yeah. And I went to your event in Grenada, Global Fund for Children, in partnership with Elvira's Garden.
Youth Center, yeah.
It was such an incredible event. The kids were so excited. They were having so much fun. So tell me a little bit about this Global Fund for Children and some of the community activism work that you're doing, because it's specifically in the Caribbean, right?
It has started out in the Caribbean, but it's all over the world. So Nice. It's global. So it's in every part of the world where we leave a little piece of Freshmen with children. Freshmen, I am a fashion designer, community activist. I own a lifestyle brand, which represents anyone who dreams big while striving an extra mile for success. The whole concept is that when you're new to doing something in life, you need to go in with the mindset of thinking positive. Mm-hmm. You get one life to live as a human, so we live by the phrase, the sky's the limit. So the separate part to Freshmen, we have Global Fund for Children, and this is how we met. So I started Global Fund for Children. I gave it the title Global Fund for Children right before the trip to Grenada. In 2019, I went to Trinidad. And I was my first solo international trip going back home. And I went to Living Waters in Belmont. It is an orphanage. And I designed T-shirts to just donate to children that don't have all the resources that we do. And I wanted to leave a piece of Freshmen with them. And then it went down from Trinidad to Mexico, and then Grenada being a very special place now in my heart. So Grenada becoming a special place in my heart is where my father had transitioned. And it essentially just came from, I used to do the work, the nonprofit work by myself. I never invited others to be a part of it. It was just kind of something that I wanted to do just for children. That was really it, just for children. And I would take my own funds and make the T-shirts, and all the supplies would come out of my own pocket. And then when it came to Grenada, I was like, you know what? It would be more beneficial if everybody came on board and participated in helping youth, especially in our very own, in the West Indies. Helping youth in general. I think that it would just be a great blessing for everybody to receive that may be struggling to even find ways and resources of helping the community. So I'm glad that now I've started the actual platform for it, where I will now keep continuing to extend it worldwide through everyone and social media, people, etc. Global Fund for Children, so we can then leave a piece of Freshmen with children and teach art workshops and manifestation, promoting cultural relativism for kids in their own island. They don't have the opportunities that we do, that a lot of our children may have. Mm-hmm. So I think that it's really important to spread that love and give them that sense of hope that, you know, Freshmen represents anyone who dreams big while striving extra mile for success. And that goes for children. These kids are their future. So yeah, it was a really, and on top of that, we raised $1,000 Canadian to donate to EGYC. So, I mean, I couldn't have done it without your help and, you know, my cousin and everyone that's watching or everyone that has supported, reposted. I couldn't have done it without your help.
Yeah. And the people that donated, I wish everybody could have seen the smiles on those kids' faces. Listen, there's just something so beautiful about being around just a bunch of children and seeing their smiles.
Seeing how happy.
Yeah.
Seeing them just like joyful.
It's so filling.
Yeah, it's definitely a filling moment. And in that moment of being at EGYC, for me, it was like, this is where my father transitioned. I've never been to Grenada. That was my first time. And it was really special to leave with those kids. It was really special to leave a piece of Freshmen. Freshmen was my brother's brand. My brother transitioned in 2016, and I've carried it over. But now going to Grenada and then having to go deal with another transition into life, it was just magical. It's a magical feeling inside. It's when I see those kids happy and joyful and laughing and dancing especially, and dancing, it's like that hug that you want to receive from the one that you've lost.
Yeah.
So for me, when I was there and those kids were all happy and hugging me and laughing with us and the whole 9 yards, the whole list goes on of the whole joyful feeling, it really was the spirit that was just like comforting me to stay strong with my journey and with what I'm doing. And especially being in a place where my father passed away, it was very, very warm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was a very warm feeling. And those kids, they have no idea. They're just innocent.
Mm-hmm.
They're genuinely just innocent kids that just know how to laugh, play. They're learning to read, to write, and they don't have certain like opportunities that, you know what I mean? So for us going there, I really hope that leaves some type of like remembrance for them. And that's
sure.
That is the goal at the end of the day. Essentially, is just to remind these children of their worth at such a young age.
Mm-hmm. And I remember you were telling me a story about one of, you know, the kids at the time in Trinidad, how she always remembered you and she would message you about the work that you did.
Yeah.
Can you remind me of like what that was?
Yeah. So when I went to Trinidad in 2019 to Living Waters, there was this one specific little girl. She was actually the eldest in the orphanage, and she had told me that she wanted to be a fashion designer. Like, she loved fashion and et cetera, et cetera. So we kind of were talking a lot. And I asked them in Living Waters if they wanted to, like, if we wanted to still stay in contact.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, eventually she kind of became like, I left my mailing address with them, and this one specific girl, none of the kids wrote me, but this one specific girl, she wrote me. We kind of wrote each other and stayed in contact because she remembered me with when I came to Trinidad, and we kind of just like had a little bit of communication, and she just expressed to me of how much that she has a t-shirt and she remembers me coming there and talking about designing clothing and like fashion and art. And it was just really cool because I didn't think that I would have an impact, honestly, on a child's life like that would remember me. You know what I mean? Like, I remember things from my childhood, but I don't remember staying in contact with those things from my childhood. But, you know, she reached out and we kind of had like a pen pal type of vibe going on for a little bit. And it was a really sweet moment. It was a really like, wow, like, wow.
So then you get to see like the real impact of your work, because it's like, even if it's one person that reaches out, they don't represent just that one person. You know what I mean? Because not everybody's going to message you, but everybody's going to remember, oh, I remember when Khadejah came here to the orphan, or they might not even remember your name. I remember when this lady
with the curly hair came and she's hugging me, and then she brought t-shirts and yeah, essentially memories are the most important thing that we have as humans.
Yeah. And it's nice because as much as these children are like filling you up, you're filling them up just as much, you know?
Yeah.
And to know that impact is mutual. It's not one person receiving everything or the other. So like more specifically, what to explain to people who, you know, haven't seen or been there, like the actual work that you're doing when you go to these places.
So starting with Global for Fund for Children, we raise money. And the money is to be donated to any orphanage, community center, anything that helps better our child's life.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that helps better our child's life. So the the work, I mean, raise money, and I design clothes, so I want to share that. That's what I'm good at, and that's what I like to share and like to do. So I like to share that with other children. But essentially, so just raise money and donate that money, and cultivate more of the expansion for children's mental to think positive. That is really the main, like, that's like the ground. That is the main concept of like why I do what I do and what the work is. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, I think it's great. And I just always try to use this podcast as a platform for others to be able to connect. So I would hope that if there's any one person or a few people out there who maybe know of community centers across the world or in the Caribbean specifically that, you know, Global Fund for Children can come and help raise money for, like, this is definitely an opportunity for us to collaborate. I keep saying this, but it's like every single one of us has a piece to this puzzle that we have to come together and put together so we can all move forward. Everybody has a different angle that they take with that, you know? And with you, it's your community work with the kids and your work with freshmen and making sure, like, trying to be very positive with these kids, because guess what? A lot of these kids don't have the best home life or the best upbringings or anything like that. So when they have, you're cultivating like safe spaces for children.
I love that.
You know what I mean? No, but you are, though, because I wish that everybody listening or watching this podcast could hear and see and feel the joy that was radiating from these children. When I tell you, Mr. Man was whining down to the ground and showing dance move and all kind of thing. Like, it's so nice. And they're just playing and they're laughing.
It's so innocent. It's just so innocent. Like, there's no thought. There's no, like, judge. Like, it's just so innocent, and it's just so free seeing kids just, like, burst out with all this energy and wanting to, like, genuinely give that to you without getting anything in return. You know what I mean? Like, it really was sweet. That little boy, he really was... he was so cute. He was having a good time.
He was so funny. And he is just one of them. Like, he was just feeding off the vibes of all the other kids.
Yeah.
It was just like a big energy. So, like, going forward with Global Fund for Children, what's some of the work that, you know, you want to do in the future, or maybe some of the places that you want to go to?
So the work that I want to do in the future, the whole end goal for Global Fund for Children is really just to leave a piece of Freshmen with children. So like, just leave that motto, that the meaning of the brand with these kids. So when it's like a rainy day and they're in their home and it's they're like 4 years go by, they have this Freshman t-shirt that says, you know, Freshmen, I represent I representing anyone who dreams big. Like, it gives them back that.
So you want the kids to be able to take a piece of Freshmen with them wherever they go to remember the brand. So can you explain a little bit more about Freshmen? Yeah,
for sure. So Freshmen was born in the year of 2011, which in our Instagram, it's freshman.mmxi. So in numeral, it's mmxi 2011. Freshman is like a college student that is starting something new. In our context of what the brand means is, Freshman represents anyone who dreams big while striving an extra mile for success. Think positive, you'll live positive. You get one life to live as a human, and we live by the phrase, the sky is the limit. I'm like the messenger of the brand. I didn't create the brand. I'm just the messenger that is here taking on this brand. It was my brother's brand. He was the founder, he was the creator, and he transitioned in 2016. So from 2016 to now, I've been running Freshmen for 7 years. We are the first streetwear brand in Toronto that actually designs hijabs. Nice. We're the first streetwear brand that designs hijabs. So we welcome all the hijabis in our community. We do nonprofit work. So we have done in our own city of Toronto, YSM, Young Street Mission. I have a good partnership with them. We have done toy drives. We have done food drives. We have done just giving away clothes to children and adults who are not in the position to provide for themselves. And then aside from that, we also have an event that's called Vibe Working. And Vibe Working is a place where businesses can come together and expand their mental and expand their business in a safe space. We create that, and everything is based off of the energy that's flowing in there, because we also do shoot content for the businesses. So we're not just a regular pop-up event. We shoot content from video to photography for these businesses so that they can have marketing material for the business. Yeah, we met in Grenada.
Yeah.
Which is so symbolic.
I know. Yeah. So Courtney Allen connected us, and then we started texting, and we just super.
Yo, first we started to DM, and then I was like, I'm not good with Instagram. I'm not good with keeping up with social media. So, and then I was like, just text me. Yeah. And then we were texting, but yeah, it felt like I know you before.
I don't know if you guys have ever experienced where like you just meet someone, you click with them. It doesn't happen often.
I think that what that is that you know them in a different life.
Yeah.
Right.
You're just like spirit friends or family for sure. 100%. It's just like, some people say, yo, my spirit doesn't take somebody. Sometimes your spirit very much does take somebody. And that's kind of the connection that we had.
And then we linked up on Grand Anne's Beach.
Yeah. Like we didn't even connect here in Toronto or in Canada. Like we were like, okay, you're going to Grenada, I'm going to Grenada.
And it just so happened to be the same time.
Yeah, which is literally the exact same day. No, same day. Yeah, we both got it the same 17th. Day. The same day.
Yeah.
Which is just like, if God were to make something obvious that He's orchestrating something, that was clear enough.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, like honestly, everything about that trip to Grenada was just so magical. 100%. I will promote Grenada till I leave this earth.
And honestly, that was my first time going to Grenada. It's funny because when I was promoting that I was going to Grenada, a lot of people were like, I didn't know you were Grenadian. I didn't know you were Grenadian. And I'm like, no, I'm Trinidadian. Both parents are Trinidadian. But my father, he went to Grenada once and he didn't come back because he fell in love with the people, the culture, the love that the island has. The island has a lot of love. And when my time being spent in Grenada, it inspired me more because all of the love that I felt from that trip, from the love from you and my cousin and like the people that I didn't even know, your cousin, shout out to Shakim, your cousin. But there was just so much love, and there was no such thing as crime and like there's no crime in Grenada. It's very peaceful. You leave your door open and nobody's coming in your house to rob you. Somebody will, if you need a lift, I've seen it. People just hop in the back of the car and they're going up those steep hills. The love that I felt from when I came to Grenada, and I was going to get my bag, and then there was a lady, she works in the airport, and she was like, oh, like, where are you staying, type of thing, da-da-da-da-da. And I told her where I was staying was in St. George's. And she was like, oh, so what is the purpose of your trip? And I was like, well, my father passed away in Grenada. So I'm here I have to clean out the home, and I have to go through his belongings, and I have to just deal with the death in general because it's been 2 years, and because of COVID, I wasn't able to go to Grenada. So now I have the opportunity to go. I was like, okay, great. And we were just talking, and I was like, so I'm here on this healing journey. And my father, he transitioned over here, and the lady just started to pray for me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And sometimes a little iffy when people just randomly start praying for you because you don't know whose intentions are or who they're praying to, but I didn't feel anything like with my one eye open or anything. Like, what is she saying? Like, and she was genuinely like, can I hold your hand?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I've only been in Grenada now for 30 minutes at this time. Mm-hmm. So she's like, can I hold your hand? And she held my hand and she told me to close my eyes. And she just started to pray for me that I would find the answers that I was looking for. And I was like, this is only the first 30 minutes. I couldn't understand what was going on for the rest of the week in Grenada. And I was really, really great. I always say, if you love me, pray for me. And I was really grateful for that. Mm-hmm. And that was just being 30 minutes in Grenada. And at the ending of the trip, from the people to the children to the food, just the whole culture, like, I felt love. You know, I really felt love, and now I understand why my father decided to choose Grenada as a place to reside. And if you guys haven't been to Grenada, I would definitely recommend you going to Grenada. If it is definitely a place for peace. It is definitely a very peaceful, quiet, beautiful island, and there is a lot of love that run through the people and in the streets. There's just love. There's no crime. There's no hate. There's no negativity. Teach is its own, but there's a lot of love. And when I was there, I was like, wow, like it was just really sweet.
It's like a breath of fresh air. As soon as I come out of that airplane, every time I touch down, I just feel the warmth. I always say like, yo, this is what real life feels like.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And now I understand, like with my father, like my dad used to sit there and call me every day talking about how nice the people are and how friendly, and like he leaves the door open, and this one drops him coconut water every morning, and blah, 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 blah. And always hearing about Grenada. And I was like, okay, well, now it's time for me to go to Grenada. And now I understand why he chose Grenada as the last place to reside, not in North America, but not in Trinidad where he is born and we are from, but in Grenada. And when I went there, it was like there was a missing piece to the puzzle, and Grenada kind of filled that piece. Yeah,
I 100% feel that. I just always feel like so at ease when I go there. I feel like the place is just home. So again, anybody who's considering, even a little bit considering going to Grenada, just go and feel the place for yourself. Because guess what? Anyone could hype up anywhere at any time.
But you got to go experience it for yourself.
Exactly. And see like if it's for you. Because I don't think it's for everybody.
No.
But for the people that get it.
Yeah.
We definitely get it. I would love, personally, I would love to do nonprofit work with In We Blood somehow. And I was having a conversation earlier today where it will be something where I connect with other people who are already doing work in certain places. So for example, you're doing work, you know, around the Caribbean. How cool would it be if we like collaborated on some stuff like, okay, when you're going to Grenada, I'm going to meet you there. And there's this other community center that I found, you know, things like that. Or even like, I don't know, like people who are doing traditional mass stuff, like connecting with them and just continuing to push in that way. If there's something that you want people to know and to remember about, whether it's Freshmen or the work that you're doing with Global Fund for Children, what do you want them to know?
I want people to know that the only limit, I mean, we live by the phrase, the sky's the limit, because you get one life as a human, but the only way for you to survive and to strive in anything that you do comes from a place of self-love. And with Freshmen, it's a grieving process because it was my brother's brand. So it's not always easy, and it always feels like when you're going 10 steps forward, then it feels like you're going 10 steps backwards. So my biggest desire for everybody out there is just don't stop believing in yourself. Don't stop believing in who you are and what you have started, or what your idea is, or whatever your passion is. Just don't stop believing in yourself. For example, in Blood, like, do not stop believing in yourself, because you have also made a place for a lot of people to come together and to share knowledge that some people don't even have resources to. That's very beneficial, and that's very important. And anybody who's doing something, it may not seem like it makes the most sense, you don't know where it's going to go, but just believe in yourself. You know what I mean? Just believe in yourself. I mean, I did everything from death is what sprouted me up to continue Freshmen and develop Freshmen and share Freshmen with people now who don't even know who my brother is. And I'm honored and I'm blessed that I'm able to do that. And then with Global Fund for Children, I mean, again, like, I started doing that from my own pocket. You know, I never promoted it. I never asked for help. I never asked for anything. I just kind of did it because it was like, this is the right thing to do. Like, if I die tomorrow, I know that at least I try to help somebody. You know what I mean? And through my business, through my platform, through what my brother has left back for me to promote. So with Global Fund for Children, I mean, if anybody's looking to do any community work or be a part of any type of community work and don't have the time to do it, that's kind of like what we do. I mean, the contribution, the repost to the donation, all of that goes a really long way. All of that really goes a long way, and it really does help make things it makes things bigger for not for myself, but for the kids, you know. And these children are our future, and we got to take care of our future. We got to take care of our kids. We got to take care of our youth, because it's very brainwashing out here, and it's very like, it's not the most safe and positive places sometimes. And sometimes when you are so caught up with everything around, you tend to forget who you are, what you can do, and where you can go. So Freshmen is really just that reminder, and Global Fund for Children. Freshmen is a reminder for children, for everybody to keep pursuing what they love to do. Global Fund for Children is for our future, and our kids to have the resources, you know, because that money that we raised together as a whole, as a community, that went to benefiting the center. And there's more resources and activities that EGYC wants to do with the youth. So it's just to help our kids expand their mental, to think positive, to believe in themselves, and to go out and chase their dreams.
Yeah. So do you have any like maybe advice for people who want to do community work back home? Because I know a lot of people are here and they do want to find a way to help, but if you have any tips based on your own experience.
I would just do your research. Do your research, because I know a lot of people, even myself sometimes, like for example, when I was doing the fundraiser at the time, Global Fund for Children, a lot of people were like, but how do I know where the money's really going? You know what I mean? Like, how do I know? But I'm like, okay, well, the money's getting, like, I'm giving them the money, so it's going through Freshmen. But do your research, you know, whichever island or country, etc. you're at, do your research and do it thoroughly. You know, my biggest thing is just do research, because that's how I've done the work I've done from Trinidad to Mexico, now to Grenada. I've did my research, and I called numerous amount of different organizations, orphanages, community centers. I've called multiple different places, but I wanted to find one that resonated with my vision with Freshmen. And what EGYC stands for is that their mission is for youth, and that's kind of like what I stand for and what I do. So I mean, just do your research, call around. You're not gonna find the right center that's perfect for you. I'm a very hands-on type of person, so I know that I love to feel the love from children. So I always want to make sure, like, can I meet the kids? Because I've had centers tell me, like, you could just donate and drop it off and then, you know, go about your biz type of thing. And I was like, no, that's not for me. Like, I want to interact with children. I want to be able to find out what their favorite color is. I want to know what they're afraid of. I want to know everything. I want to know everything. And I want to feel that love and feel that energy with kids. So do your research, and do what resonates with you. If you are going to Grenada, EGYC, Elvira's Garden Youth Center, is an amazing center that you can go to. And there's different centers in Grenada as well, but you can always check out EGYC.
Yeah, for sure. It was even just the land that they're on, the piece of land that they're on. It just feels so like...
It feels so like sacred.
Yes, it does.
Well, it also is very sacred because it was actually, from what the knowledge that and the research that I've done with EGYC, it was her. Now she's the owner of it, but her father, and I forget her name, but her father actually started EGYC, and then her father passed away, and like, she didn't know what to do with this land. She didn't know what to do with it. Like, she knew what her father was doing, and she didn't know, so she kept the legacy alive. And for me, that's what resonated with me, because I'm here keeping my brother's legacy alive. And, so, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful land, beautiful. When you walk down the steps, it's like walking to like a light. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like walking to a golden gate. It's really sacred. It's really a safe spot for kids to engage and learn and grow and have fun.
Yeah. And it's just like, based on what you said and what I'm hearing, it's like there's this theme of passing on the torch and carrying the legacy. Yeah. So it's like the people that came before us that were the ones who started this thing, and then we get to take it, you know, to the next level, or
we get to keep it
wherever
alive.
Yeah.
We get to keep it alive.
Yeah.
And that's like the biggest thing. And, you know, when it comes to death, in a sense, like we always think that that is the end. And we always get blindfolded by that, but it's really just the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
It's really just the beginning of a whole new life ahead of you, and a whole new life ahead for the person who had to transition.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not the end. So, you know, finding that inside of you, it could take years, it could take months, but finding that inside of you and believing that this isn't the end and you can still do something with it, that's power.
Yeah.
That's power.
Facts. So if people want to connect with Global Fund for Children, like, when is the next initiative maybe? I know you just finished the last one like 2 weeks ago, but what is the next one?
So, God willing, hopefully February.
Okay.
Hopefully February, you know, God willing. Right now, Freshmen has a lot of things in works. We are now designing a whole new collection called Loving on Freshmen. So, God willing, February, if not February, March.
Okay. So what is that? Q1? Whatever. It's early next year.
Early next
year. Yeah. So we'll definitely keep in touch because, listen, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. I'm all for supporting, whether it's donating money or volunteering my time, whatever.
Definitely, I appreciated. I appreciated more of your time. I didn't even, like, your money was appreciated too, but your time.
Listen, when people
there,
volunteer their time.
Kiana said, clap once. If you hear my name, and I'm just there like, yes.
Rallying the kids.
Rally up the children, okay? Because all the jabbing them are coming out, okay? And they're not listening. But me, I'm just very more like free flow, you know, go run around, do your thing.
Yeah.
But if anybody ever wants to be a part of Global Fund for Children, all you really have to do is send us an email. Our Instagram is freshman.mmxi. Send us an email and let us know what it is that you want to do. Because we onboard anybody and everybody. Like, it doesn't matter. Everybody got a part to play at the table. So pull up a chair.
Yeah. I love that. I would actually love to see this thing expand, both Freshmen and Global Fund for Children, just expanding so much more than you could ever hope, dream, or imagine.
That's beautiful.
Because the entire community comes along to help you on your mission.
Yeah.
How amazing would that be?
Yeah.
Where it's like the goals that you had maybe for like 2, 3, or 4 years, or maybe one day, all of a sudden start happening so quickly because people are like, yeah, I love what she's doing. And I saw the work that she did in Grenada, and I heard about the work that she did in Trinidad and Mexico. And then people come, they start sending resources and volunteers. And
you know, I've had some people actually hit me up in my DM and was like, if I had known you were going away, like, I would have loved to come with you on this trip. And I was like, you know what? Maybe there will always be more. Like, just because it's not right now doesn't mean it won't happen next year or the next couple of months. Like, it will happen. So I'm all here to, you know, expand our community and expand our resources. So
I feel like now that you've opened it up beyond just your own pockets and beyond your own stuff, it's just going to grow so fast. And I looked at your sweater and all I see is sky is the limit. Like, it's going to grow so big, so fast because you're allowing other people to come on board. Yeah. Because other people will be like, oh, I know somewhere in St. Kitts. My family's from St. Kitts. Yeah, we're going to
see. And I love that. I love that because like and I bet you felt this way before you even met me because you were like, Grenada, who's this person doing something in Grenada? Like, who is this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like going to your homeland, it's very meaningful for you. Like it was very meaningful for you going to Grenada and doing that for the youth in Grenada. Trinidad is my homeland. That was really meaningful for me. And I have some Mexican friends as well. They were like, yo, this is beautiful. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like the more the merrier, you know.
I'm excited for the Freshman Global Fund for Children volunteer trips and when I can sign up. And then maybe it can even be something where like volunteers, because sometimes people pay to volunteer or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it has to be something like that, but maybe it's like, you give whatever and then you come and you join us, and then that money is going to go to the center or to the orphanage or whatever. And then like this could be like,
that's beautiful.
Yeah,
that's so beautiful,
so amazing.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
Well, I couldn't have done this without your help, and I couldn't have done this without your help and everybody's help who's watching. I couldn't have done any of to raise $1,000 and donate it. Like I couldn't have done that without everyone's help. Truthfully, repost, that's still some sort of donation. Like, you know what I mean? Like I couldn't have done that, and it means a lot to me. Honestly, it means a lot to me. Yes, I'm helping the children and the kids, but like it comes back to like this was my brother's brand.
Yeah.
And my brother really wanted to help everybody and anybody in the world with Freshmen. Mm-hmm. So for those that don't even know the story and that just help, like to me that's just so meaningful. Mm-hmm. It's so meaningful and it's so sweet because like prayer is everything, and when you give you receive more, and this goes for everybody who did support. You're gonna receive more. For those who did donate, you're gonna receive more, because the intention of what you put in a good intention, it comes right back to you. For me, and also like my brother is in a different realm, the only thing that can help him is prayer. Mm-hmm. So for that, like it's just like a very spiritual thing. Like it's a very like everyone's helping out, and I can dedicate this in Khaled's name, or my father's name in Grenada. Yeah. You know what I mean? And how I look at it is that my brother is an angel. Mm-hmm. He's Archangel Freshman, and he is with everybody. So everybody who wears Freshmen or owns a piece of Freshmen, and now for the children, I just always look at it as Khaled is guiding and protecting these children on their journey. And anybody who wears or owns a piece of Freshmen as well, you have a sweater that is full of power. Mm-hmm. That's how we design our clothes. Mm-hmm. So it's all love and light.
That is so amazing. It's not often that we see like clothing designers who are doing, and especially kind of like at this stage, like doing so much community work and really just doing it from a place of just goodness. And I always say that when somebody does something for the greater good and they're not doing it just for themselves, like you said, it'll come back. Like they'll always just reap the benefits. They'll always be blessed, because it's not really like, it is about me in one aspect, but it's so much more about the impact that I can make. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So I just always feel like you'll be blessed. Freshmen will always be blessed.
I feel like everybody who does anything with a good intention, whether if it's with Freshmen or it's not, we're all gonna be blessed. Yeah. You know what I mean? So my word for everybody is to keep moving in a place of intention, mm-hmm. and challenge those negative thoughts and dream big.
Yeah. So where can people find, does Global Fund for Children have an Instagram, or is everything under Freshmen?
So everything is under Freshmen.
Okay.
Yeah, everything is under the Freshmen page, from the shop to the clothing to vibe working. If you have a small business and you want to expand your business and be a part of the pop-up events, and those events, I've done 8 events in 4 years. So it's grown. It's a great event. It is a great event.
When's the next one?
And everybody and their mom has been asking me, when is the next one?
Guys, give her a chance. That's what she's saying. Just give me a chance.
I took a whole year off of Freshmen, to be honest. And that was the first time I took a break as an entrepreneur. That was the first time. I was going hard for 6 years. And then the 7th year, I was like, I'm tired.
But that's like symbolic too, because on the 7th day he rested.
Wow, I didn't even think about that.
But it's true though.
That is true.
That you do have to take and I think that's the thing that happens sometimes, is we get so involved in the work. I had to tell a girl the other day too, she's also very like ambitious. And I am too, and I understand. But she was like, I'm on vacation right now and I'm just finding it so hard to rest because there's always something to do. And I told her, I was like, well, as an ambitious person, I know it's tough to take a chance, but just remember that like God rested too.
Right. It's so important. It's so important. And now that, my really first thing coming back into Freshmen was Global Fund for Children. Yeah. That was the first thing that I did that was like the welcome back for myself. Mm. I mean, I designed stuff throughout the summer, but it was nothing like crazy. But to get back into the business, Global Fund for Children was the first thing. Mm-hmm. And it just set the tone for my mind, for my spirit, and for my business.
Yeah.
And
it's a heights.
Yeah.
No, seriously, it's a heights.
So, I mean, thank you. So, I mean, Global Fund for Children was the first thing. And now there's been a new collection that is coming out called Loving on Freshmen. And that has a lot to do with learning to love self and loving self and being able to give that. When you love yourself, you're able to give more love to the people in the world. And even though sometimes like we move, like I for example, I have self-love. I love myself dearly, but it's a healing process, it's a journey.
Yeah.
But because I've always felt so empty inside, it was always like, let me just give to the world because it feels good.
Yeah.
It feels good. And now that I'm in a place where I'm healing, and going to Grenada was healing for me to rest my father, Loving on Freshmen is kind of correlates with it. So it's the part where I'm like, in order to love myself more and most importantly give the love to other people in the world, people that don't know me, people that don't know Freshmen, that's what Loving on Freshmen is. So that is the next collection drop that will be coming out in the new year. We don't have a specific timeline. We don't rush that, but in the new year. And that's the process. I mean, then eventually the next goal is there will be another Global Fund for Children. We can raise some money and get some t-shirts out. And I was really upset though. My heat press machine wasn't working at the at EGYC, but you know what? Everything happened for a reason. The kids enjoyed painting on their bags and stuff. But all in all, I'm so really grateful.
Yeah. And I was so proud of you at that event. I was so proud of you because I'm from Grenada. My family's from Grenada, but I've never heard of this place. So like when you're saying like, yo, you do your research, you're not making that up because the way how we had to go behind God's back.
And so EGYC is in St. David's, and St. David's is more considered like the countryside. And it's not just go around the corner and make a first left and then on the first thing on the right. It's not.
My cousin we had Google Maps, but we still had, and you know, it was like kind of, we still had to be asking people like, yo, where do we go? And I'm like, why is there no road?
Right.
I'm like,
right.
But when you get there,
you're like, wow.
When you arrive, it is like, this place is magical.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying. Like you definitely did your research and you inspired me. You inspired me to like do community work in Grenada, you know?
Oh.
Yeah, like I wanna do like a book drive or something because I know
you did mention that.
Yeah, because I know that Grenada doesn't have any publicly funded libraries, which is like not okay. Right. But to be able to, you know, rally people from here and be like, hey, any books that you guys aren't reading or anything like that, like let's donate it to the library. Yeah. And that's kind of just been an idea that's been in my head now for a while. So yeah, I'm going to start doing community work and rallying people. And I feel inspired by what you did with Freshmen and seeing all those kids. And I would encourage anybody.
Aww,
I would encourage anybody who feels Khadejah and feels what she's saying and feels, you know, the work that she's doing to follow Freshmen and to support Freshmen and to support the work that they're doing. Because by the end of that day, I was crying.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You cried more than I cried. Yeah, you were. But that's sweet because those tears came from a place of love.
Yeah.
And I'll always be grateful for your time and you being there and that love that you shared with me. That's very sacred to me. So I'm just glad that, you know, that inspired you and that will help, you know, In We Blood expand more. And for everybody who's watching this, I hope that you find you stay inspired, you know, stay inspired.
Yeah. And I really hope that even if there's just one person watching or listening to this who wants to do community work, I hope that you can feel inspired by Khadejah's story. She had never been to Grenada before, and she did her research and found a center that aligned with her brand and her values and her mission, and was able to find somewhere to do like real, meaningful, and impactful work. And it's possible. And so I encourage anyone who wants to do that to go ahead and do that. So let's just remind people where they can find Freshmen online.
Yeah, so everyone can find Freshmen. Our website is www.freshmanclothing.com. Our Instagram is freshman.mmxi. Feel free to send us. Freshman is open to everybody. Whatever your idea is, whatever your business is, whatever it is that you are passionate about doing, we cater for you. That's why we're here. So you can shoot us an email. DMs it's really complicated with the DM aspect, but shoot us an email and definitely somebody on the team will be able to get back. And if you have any ideas that you would like to propose or you are interested in being part of Vibe Working, shoot us an email. We're all here for your business and we're all here for your support. And we're here to support you, most importantly.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. And I'm going to start shouting out In We Blood more because my grandfather mentioned that I don't actually say anything about In We Blood. So thank you everybody for listening. This has been such a fun journey. I've been able to meet so many people and introduce all of you to so many incredible people. And I just pray that I get to continue to do this work and it continues to be a blessing to all of us.
Amen.
Amen.